everybody. Happy post holidays. Hold on. Something happened with our stream, but I think it's fixed now. All right. So let's start again. Welcome, everybody, to the commentary zone. Happy post holidays. I hope you all had a wonderful time with family and friends. And let's see, today we're doing a Housewives mashup. Two shows today: The Real Housewives of Miami, season 5, episode 5 and 6. Jamal. I love Miami.
I know, but did anything happen in episode 5? I don't
Episode
remember
5.
episode 5.
Well, we got the rest of the story on the breakup of Lisa and Lenny's marriage. And then Adriana and Julia finally came over from the bar, and I think Adriana had some really good um like advice for her, because Adriana been around the block a bit. um but what irritated me was when they were at the pool and Gertie was really trying to boost Lisa up and try to like show her own self-worth. Larsa started her storyline where she's like, I don't really think Gertie should have anything to say about this because she's never been divorced. She should be only listening to the people who've been divorced. Being divorced is not like the be all end all. And that's why later on, I like when Gertie stood up to Larsa and was like, so I can't have an opinion. So we got the tail end of it. We were hearing what was going on, how he rolled it out. Lenny is Lenny told her on Sunday, we gonna have to get a divorce. Then he said, I'm dating, and then he came up, she my girlfriend by Wednesday.
But I have a question. Was it the girl who's taking the photos? Is that what they were telling us?
The
Because remember, they did
girlfriend
the
that
flashback. Lisa was telling the story, right? But
Oh
they
yeah.
went back showing the girl taking that photo of them when she's like, "Hug me
Uh-uh.
like you love me." That's not her, right? Is
No,
that her?
that's
Are
not
they trying?
her, because
Okay,
this is one of the young ladies that are staples at their weekend parties that she throws for him. And she's also like one of those Instagram thoughts, and she's been following Lisa. So she maneuvered her way to the weekend parties and I guess let him sample the wares.
but the thing is, the way they set it up with production and filming, when they did that
Mhm.
flashback, it seemed like they were trying to say this is the girl who's the new girlfriend.
No, I didn't interpret it that way at all. What I was seeing in that was like when she was saying, um, and I didn't even see it coming. And they started off at that dinner last year where she was like, we're still together, right? You still love me, right? And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm really busy cutting my steak. And they were just showing highlights, because when they got to the part at the party, at the pool party, and she was sitting on his lap, she was still trying to get him to reinforce to her and assure her that they were in a relationship. And she was just like, just act like you love me or something. Like she said something weird, but when you're saying stuff like that in a relationship, even as a joke, to me that sounds like the truth. But you might be saying it in a jokey way. But no, I think you're really speaking the truth. And she was desperate to keep that marriage together, even though she saw all the signs there. And she thought that, who was it who said it? Was it Marisol? She thought that by throwing him those weekend parties, that it was going to keep him, but she was just bringing
Right.
in the replacements. I don't know. Hi, everybody in the chat. Let's see. Hi, Heidi. Heidi. You shouldn't have. Thank you so much, Heidi. Oh my gosh. We've never got money before. Don't know what to do.
Right.
Thank you, Heidi. Mwah. I'll see you this evening. Hi, Silver Goddess. Rich people problems, not interested. Oh, I'm interested. I mean, yeah, I'm interested because this is beyond like how he did this to her and all the shenanigans that she put up with for 15 years and endorsed and encouraged and condoned and served up on a platter. This is a word of warning to ladies, like when you indulge in these things with your spouse and opening him up to the full buffet, and then you think that he's going to be okay with just like one entree selection after that, it never works. It never works. I
And
don't
I love
know.
how all the women said like they would never let that happen. Never.
Well, yeah, because don't forget, you heard Adriana. I think it was when they were on the boat with Nicole, right? And Adriana's like they were talking about them parties a lot, the other ladies. And Adriana's like, there's no way I'm gonna bring in somebody who's half my age and to my husband. No, no. you know? Hi. See. I love how Larsa. Oh, sorry. I was getting to Jean. Hey, thank you so much, Jean. Thank you. Oh gosh. Never. I'm back. What is going on? Okay, wait, hold on. Ava says, I love how Larsa acts like her and Lisa aren't the same. The only difference is Lenny is smart. Oh my
The thing
god.
is though, the thing is though, like I agree with the lady. Like you don't like one, he's successful. Two, he's coin. Three, you're on the show. You lock your man down. You don't allow any other chicks around your man.
But in episode 6, I know I'm jumping ahead. Adriana, when she's telling Julia like all the backstory on them as a couple, right? She has a very good point. Lenny knew what he was doing when he was trolling for her. He picked her up as a waitress in Vegas, very young, early 20s, right? And then he locked her down, introduced her to everything that she'd never been exposed to before, then started remodeling her. He created his own little Barbie doll and his own little fetish fantasy. And then now he's gotten tired of her. Had she been older, she wouldn't have allowed that. Had she been older, she wouldn't have indulged him in allowing him to step out. Had she been older, they wouldn't have been doing the booger sugar all over the place. Had she been older and had more value in herself and could appreciate herself for herself and not look to him for validation, that marriage would have been a different thing. But Lenny knew what he was looking for.
And also, she's not close to her family. So that's another thing we have to take to account. So
Isolator.
she's
Isolate.
isolated. It was easy to isolate her since she was
Mm-hmm.
already isolated.
Yep. Yep. Let's see. Alexia acts like she wasn't broke 10 years ago. Herman kids left her not. Yup. she kills me. And again, another reason why I cannot stomach Alexia. I can't. Because she always turns back to her base mentality. I can't stand her. She's a hateful individual.
She was treating me like I always liked Alexia, but this season I'm not really feeling her because the things that she says, like ma'am, and Adriana was checking her at every point. She's like, no.
Jean, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Lisa was a garden tool, and she acts. She fell in love with a trick. Yeah. You know what? I think she. Remember that old movie Pygmalion? What's it called? Oh my god, I only know the original version, Pygmalion, but where he takes this girl that sells flowers out of the gutter, and he has a bet with his educated crony that he can make a lady out of a sow's ear.
I only know the teen movie. She's all that.
Right. Well,
That's the
it
only
was with
version.
Audrey Hepburn. The second movie was with Audrey Hepburn, but I'm the only thing that's in my head is the original black and white movie, which is Pygmalion. I'm really dating myself here, but she might have
My
just
Fair
been a
Lady.
waitress. There you go. Love it. Love it. I just feel like I wouldn't go all the way out there and say she's a garden tool unless I get proof. But he knew what he was going for. He wanted somebody young, inexperienced, naive, somebody who was pliable, and like you said, no family, so he could isolate them. That sounds like enough with Jayla. Oh yeah, that was a good movie. That was a good movie. But enough had like more fighting in it, I think. We don't
Right?
talk about the Joseph. Okay, so I'm gonna release that comment that Ava had put in. Hopefully, it'll come up soon. But basically, she's saying Lisa grew up poor. We don't talk enough on these shows with the housewives, and they have to. Oh, they have to be like sexual objects to become a housewife, like AKA Erica Jane. Yeah, not everybody is born, with a silver spoon in their mouths. Um, I just feel bad for her because she tried. She tried. And I like the evolution of it between the two episodes, where in 5, she's like, I still love Lenny. I want to save my marriage. I think we can salvage this. And by the time she gets into episode 6, she's like, I'm calling a lawyer.
Oh, especially when he threw his mama out the house.
Not the like what did Marina do? Like what is he on? Cuz the viciousness of how he did this, and it's like he hates women. Listen, this little young chick that he's with now, girl, you better get ready. You better get ready. And
Exactly.
for those ladies who are the outside chick, don't ever step foot in that house. That's so disrespectful. You are not being cute. You are not being cute. And with this show, she has footage of the mother-in-law sitting outside like Magnum PI watching the big rolls pull up with that hoe in the back up to their marital home. Oh, and I loved Anthony. Anthony was like, "What? Tell her get a lawyer ASAP." Oh my god.
And
Okay.
told her, do not leave the house. Do
Do
not
not
leave the
leave the
house.
house.
And she may
And
not be
it's
able to go back.
illegal for him to put her out, especially with children. Holy crap. Holy crap.
He'll make it the nanny go to the guest house. He put the mama out. He put the mama out and put the
He
nanny
put
in
the
the guest
mama
house.
house, yeah, with the
And
kids.
so the
Mhm.
rolls come up and he not be seen.
Right, but the mama never went home. The mama
Right.
stayed on the street and watched the car roll up, saw the chick in the back, and called Lisa.
Lisa.
How is she not on her son's side? She on Lisa's side.
Right?
Well, if he hadn't have put her out, she probably would have been on Lenny's side.
Right. And I think she's coming from the mother aspect. Like she's a mom.
Hmm.
She's a mother.
Yeah.
So to disrespect the mother of your children that way, let alone your wife, are you serious?
But here's the thing, their home, Lenny is providing his parents. Lenny is providing a home for his parents. So she better tread carefully. They need someplace to sleep. Okay, so let's just go quickly through episode 5. Um we see like the typical all of the ladies getting, at home shots with their families or whatever. Julia's daughter Emma comes back. They fight, bickering. She wants the daughter wants to get a scooter. Martina's like, let her get the scooter. Just promise to wear a helmet. You're growing up. It's good. Julia's freaking out. Martina says, shut this shit down or I'm gonna put both of y'all asses out. Period. We see Lisa making pancakes with her kids and in her confessional making excuses about how busy Lenny is. Um, let's see. We see wasted footage of Larsa on a date with this guy named Ari. They don't even look like they have any sort of connection. Anthony and has a speedboat. And the boat captain's name is also Anthony. Anthony Lopez. Just like him. So this girl, Nicole, is surrounded by Anthony Lopez's.
Right? Like, is this your thing? You collect Anthony Lopez's? What was your husband's
Well,
first name?
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. She hit big with him. She hit big with him. I love a man and his toys. And the bank accounts to buy the toys. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And then
And
she hit
she's
just hit
enjoying it.
jackpot. And she don't care.
Yes.
Like, you can tell she don't care about none of these chicks who ain't her friends.
Nope. Nope. So all of the ladies come. Lisa bails. I think this is the first note that like all the ladies is something's wrong with Lisa. It's like she's off. It's something's weird going on. And on this boat, that's where Adriana, I think, is saying, they're having the parties. I would never let someone half my age be around my husband. And I think Marisol has some comments about it as well. Like Alexia, like they were all like, well, I think they're about 10 years older than Lisa, right?
Roughly 10 years old, yeah.
Well, Marisol's in her 50s. She's full-fledged in her 50s. Alexia is about to be 50. How old is Nicole? She's like in her 30s. Gertie's in her 30s. And how old is Lisa? Lisa's in her 40s?
Lisa
No,
just turned
30.
40. Looks like.
She just turned 40.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, the older women, they not having it. They not having it.
They've gone through a couple of husbands already, so they're time they're true and tested. They're like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they like Marisol, her husband first used her for a green card, like she's not having that no more. You got
Mm-hmm.
Alexia, she's been through a drug
3.
dealer, a closeted man, and now she's on her
Mm-hmm.
third. I mean, they're not going for it, and Gertie ain't going for it. Gertie, well, like Gertie said, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, goodbye. She's coming firing people.
Mm-hmm. I it's just scary when women like if you have a circle of friends, right? And something like this happens to one, it really does make you like re-examine what you got going on at home. And I think Gertie mentioned that in episode
Yes.
6.
She said she said when there's a marriage on fire, you check, or a house on fire, you check your home to make sure it don't burn down. And she called
Mm-hmm.
Russell, boom, this is what's going on.
Russell was so messy. He's like, who's Lisa? Russell, you gotta love him. Okay, so they sizing up the boat captain. Adriana was playing around with him, trying to get her little flirt on. Um, we get a text from Lisa to Nicole saying that she wasn't feeling well, and that's why she didn't make the boat trip. Da, 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 da. They start talking about the upcoming trip for Alexia's birthday, which is to the Florida Keys. Alexia is going to be celebrating her big 5-0. This is where they start talking about Lenny's private parties. Basically, they're all young girls that are invited, and all the married men who are there are just looking at them. Um, let's see. Next, we see all the ladies are packing. Um, some of the ladies go on the jet that Anthony is piloting for them, and then some of the ladies are driving down. Lisa is late. By the time it's like an hour and 20 minutes past takeoff time, Anthony is about ready to freak out. He's like, if it's 5 minutes, it's one thing, but it's over an hour. This is ridiculous. I'm not waiting. We're going. Tell her to drive. And she shows up. She looks disheveled. She doesn't look like the Barbie doll. She looks disheveled. And did you notice? When they had the pool party, um, when they had the pool party, she had nothing on her. Hold on. But I did notice something on the Keys trip. Okay, when she got onto the plane, right? I thought I saw. No, it wasn't on the plane. When she landed and she had the arms out. Look at that bruise on her arm. She didn't have that at the pool party. What the hell happened in her home?
Yeah, who was she
What the
fighting with?
hell happened? Like, seriously, Lenny, do
I
right,
wonder.
Lenny.
I wonder if she is some. I wonder if she getting about the little girl, or did he try to put her out the house?
Well, I'm sure that between the 3 days where he announced he wanted a divorce, he's gonna start dating, and then I've picked out my girlfriend, and she's gonna be my girlfriend. Lisa's a scrapper. Lisa is a scrapper. I wouldn't be surprised if she threw herself at him, and he probably, let me not go down that drain. But I noticed that. And good for her for exposing it on the camera. Evidence. Evidence.
Exactly.
Um oh god, Larsa, Kiki, and Marisol are the ones who are driving down, and they play a game in the car to try and identify the dirtiest things ever. I didn't know what the hot Carl was, and I was kind of scared about that one. Is it the hot Carl? The hot Carl putting a plastic bag over
Yes,
your
that's what
partner's
it is.
face?
Yeah.
Like, I knew
Right.
one of them, but I was scared by the time they got to hot Carl. I was like, girl, what? Was that Marisol's game? She need to stop with these games. Her games are disastrous. Let's see. Did you notice that the property that they went to was the same property that Married at First Sight Houston went to for their honeymoons?
I knew it looked familiar, but I couldn't place it where.
The very same property. um Once you get on these reality show radars, you're susceptible. Let's see. So they get there, they get to the resort. The is Why is Julia bringing a dog? Is there no one that can care for the dog?
Martina must be on another job.
There's no way. There is no way that she has no help at the farm. No way. Or she could have boarded the dog at the kennel. I don't get it. she's just irritating me with that. See, this is where I fall on and off the bus with her. She does these little stunts and they annoy me. Um, but then when she gets into it with Alexia in episode 6, that's where I like her. Let's see. Next we see, oh Jesus. Okay, so next we see Lisa. She's on the phone. And the nanny's not feeling well. The nanny's telling her she's not feeling well. She needs to leave, but the kids are home alone and she needs somebody to take care of the kids because now she's in the Florida Keys. She calls Lenny and lets Lenny know that the nanny has to leave. She's not feeling well. So he needs to go home and take care of the kids. He tells her he wants her to find somebody because he really want to go to tennis.
Right. Basically, he told her, like, open the app, go to care.com and find a babysitter. That's what he's telling her.
And it's not tennis that he has to go to. He going out with the chick.
Exactly.
And she is like, she starts crying and she curses at him. And she said, and I don't blame her. Fuck the tennis and be with your fucking kids. And that's why I think she got into it with him, and that's why she got bruised.
Do you remember, or did you know he said, like, I really, really want to go play tennis? I'm like, oh, okay.
He had other plans that he did not want to break because it was Lenny. This is where I first noticed the bruise. It's with this where she's getting pissed at him. That because that arm I think was turned to the camera. I was like, wait, what's that? That's where I noticed the bruise. The ladies, they go to the pool. They're hanging out. This is the same pool that them bitches that Married at First Sight didn't like. Lisa finally comes down. They're all sitting on the pool loungers, except for Julia and Adriana, who are staying by the bar, and they're eating because they're like, if we're going to be drinking, I need to get something in my stomach. And I guess they are a little separate from the rest of the girls. I guess there's still issues. I don't know. Who cares at this point? But this is where Lisa starts breaking because they're asking her if she's okay. Like, they can sense something is wrong. And Lisa finally cracks and she's like, she might have to go home because if she doesn't have someone to take care of kids, she has to leave. She explains how the nanny fell. And, she goes through everything. But the more that she goes into the story, I think that last conversation, she was just fuck it, Nantucket. This man is doing me wrong. And I need the support of my ladies. And I'm just going to spill everything. And it all comes out. It all comes out that, their marriage is in shambles. It's hit a rough patch, she even threw in the dying dog. She's having marital issues. She's not well right now. She wants to fix everything. The ladies all encourage her. To their credit, they do all encourage her. Alexia is the one asked if anyone else is involved. Lisa says that yes, that he's dating her. She's younger and she's in her house and he's dating her. And this sets all of the ladies off, all of them. She says that he came up to her and told her in her face that, Sunday it said, I want a divorce. Monday, I want to start dating. And Wednesday, this my new girlfriend.
Also, when he told her that you need to leave and find a place for you and your kids. I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yes, that was on Sunday. He said, we're done, divorce. You need to go and find a house for you and your kids. And we're done. What? See, he can't be stable. He just cannot be stable. And basically the episode ends off with Lisa saying it's one of the lowest points of her life. But I think all of these women are shocked. And the two dodo birds, Julia and Adriana, are still over at the bar eating. And they're thinking that they're fighting when, truth and fact, they're over there hearing the destruction of this girl's marriage. And they're stuffing guacamole in their faces. Like, come on, y'all. Get with it. So episode 6, dumped and dumbfounded. So we pick up with Lisa confessing everything about her marriage. Adriana and Julia finally come over. And I think Adriana really gave her some of the best words of encouragement. I like when Lisa leaned over, when she heard that part about leave the house, Nicole leaned over and said, don't you ever leave the marital house, especially with kids. Don't you ever leave the marital house because you may never get back in. She was also the one that said, put on retainer every top attorney in town. Get all of them on retainer. She's a good one.
I love that. I love that.
So, they're talking about it. Let's see. Okay. Lisa admits that she found out that the girlfriend follows her on Instagram. Lisa even called this girl and said, why is she dating her husband? And the girl said, who told you that? She said, my husband. She said, well, go talk to him about it.
Now the little girl's not wrong about that though. Don't. I always say this about ladies. Do not be checking these other women. They not your friend. They don't owe you anything. They're not sleeping next to you next night at night. Talk to your man about that. So I will agree with her on that. But
Lisa's going to her to try and see if she could get her on her side and say, I have children. How much you want to bet that came up in the conversation? I have children. These hoes don't care nothing about you or your children, because if they did, they wouldn't be fucking your husband.
Exactly.
But I digress. Lisa's crying. And when she said, I just want him to love me, I was like, look at the damage that this man has done to this girl.
Exactly.
I was like, wow. She said she never thought Lenny would do this to her. She never thought he would throw her away. Everything in Lenny's world is disposable. Everything. He's a fraud. Oh my God. Okay, so then she says that Lenny told her that if she doesn't go and find herself a house and buy it for herself, that she is going to have a front row seat to him dating. Now listen, you hear all of this shit that he's telling her? Would you blame her for like propelling herself like she's in WWE off of the third rope at him? Would you blame her for doing
that? No, I don't blame her, but I'm just saying it's just like, wow.
You've been with him for 15 years. You got 2 children the hard way that he wanted. And this is how he treats you after 15 years? Wow.
This just lets you know his mentality, though. This lets you know exactly who he is. And like you said, the new little girl, be careful.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Adriana, this is what stuck out to me, what Adriana told her. Adriana said, if Lenny thinks that she and the children if Lenny thinks that this girl is good enough to throw away her and his children, in essence his family, then he deserves her. Basically, they're both trash. I love it. Um, so then this is where Larsa lost me. I really don't like Larsa on this show. I just don't. Um, Larsa then Gertie is really trying to tell her, you need to focus on you and your children. It's that one-way traffic, just you and the kids, and just push on and move forward and leave him behind you. And Larsa doesn't like that. Larsa says that Gertie shouldn't be giving Lisa advice because it should be coming from people who have gone through divorces, and Gertie hasn't. I thought this was the dumbest part of this episode.
Well, it's Larsa talking, so.
Ugh. We see the confessional where I got the thumbnail from. She says she feels humiliated, hurt, and helpless. Damn, girl. This is good footage for your divorce attorney. And I hope he's the first one you have sex with after Lenny.
I mean, because he's already moved on clearly, so you might as well.
Yep. The ladies go back to their rooms. Adriana tells this is where Adriana tells Julia the background on Lisa and Lenny and how they met. He got her young. She was a waitress in Vegas. And he's groomed her since then. Then we see Nicole out on a lounger. She calls Anthony and tells him what happened. Anthony's shocked. He says that Lisa needs to go get a lawyer ASAP and that Lenny can't kick her out of the house, and neither should she leave the house. So very good advice. I'm glad she's surrounded by these people who can give her this great advice. This is where Gertie calls her husband to tell him what's going on. He don't know who Lisa is. Gertie then says, like, I don't understand how he could say these things to her. You're a man. You explain it. He says, I'm not talking for Lenny. I like Russell.
Good job, Russell.
Yeah, and this is where she says, when there's a house on fire, you go and run and check yours to make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. So she basically asked him, would you ever do that to me? He said no. Don't believe him either. Believe him either.
But Gertie could be self-sufficient, where Lisa was pretty much dependent. The two different situations. And then before Russell could say divorce, Gertie would have already filed.
Mm-hmm. Next we see, I think, this is when Lenny's mom, Marina, calls Lisa and reports that the big Rolls Royce with the chauffeur is gone. And he told the mom to get out of the house. Why, Lenny? But Marina's up on the giddy up. She goes, I know he's going to pick up that girl. He threw me out. I went around the corner and I waited for that car to come back to see who was in it. And it was her. And she on the phone telling Lisa this. Oh my God. So we find out also that Lenny has banished the nanny to the guest house because what is he doing with the girl up in the big house?
And that's just so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful to bring her to your home. You take her to the Four Seasons.
He's tired of that. And besides, she probably told him, I want a gift. And he said, well, just come and pick something out of Lisa's closet. She ain't gonna miss it.
You could be right on that one.
Don't forget, he said, I took out that line of credit, the home equity credit, just in case I needed some funds. Yeah. We see you, Lenny. We see you. Mm-hmm. So then she hops on the phone with Lenny. And she's like, don't bring that woman around my kids. I don't want that girl anywhere near my kids or in my home. And she tells the nanny to make sure that she get back inside the house, inside the bedroom. You ain't cock blocking him because he probably shooting. Let me keep my mouth shut.
In the back seat. I know what she's gonna say.
All over the kitchen, in the game room, out in the pool. Drain the pool, girl, because all of the juices are flowing out there. Wash down the deck with some lime. Like, girl, he's all over the place. And trust me, that's probably not the first time that he's taken her shopping in your closet. You should have a full
Right.
inventory of all your things. FYI. All right, so we see that it's Alexia's birthday dinner. All of the ladies come down. There's a dancer in a bubble or contortionist in a bubble. There's a fire dancer. And they start off a game. But Lisa is completely distracted. Completely distracted. She's not in this. I think in one of her confessionals, she's just like, I hear noise. Like noise. And she's looking at her phone a lot. I get it. Larsa starts talking about her blind date and said that he called the paparazzi to meet them after the dinner. No, he didn't. You did.
Exactly.
You did. You did. We see Lisa going off by herself and she's on her phone and she tells the camera she just needs a second, and she shoos them away. Next, we see Johnny, Alexia's best friend or whatever. He shows up. He has a surprise. It's a video from Todd, and he got her one of the Bulgari snake watches. I don't know why people like those. I don't particularly like them. But okay, she's excited. We all know that she picked it out and told him to send it to her. Okay, beautiful.
Exactly.
Cause she was real quick with that price when Adriana was like, "You're hypocritical. You're sitting here saying that women should have their own money, but yet you're taking a present from a man." And I love when Adriana said to her face, "The difference is I bought mine. I bought mine."
Ouch.
Yes. Lisa, we see Lisa on the phone. I think this time is with the nanny telling her to stay inside the house. The nanny says that she was sent to the guest house, and Lisa is telling her, she's begging this woman to keep her kids safe. Good Lord. Oh my God. Back at the table, the women are discussing Lisa's situation again. Adriana brings up another good point. It is hard when you have to wonder every day how you're going to make money to support your family and to start over fresh. She's had to do that several times, so she knows of what she's saying. And in a way, Alexia does too, but I think hers is a bit twisted. I don't know. Wait, does Todd remind you of one of the kids? Whose kids? Oh, Lord. Do not answer that, Ablavi. Do not. Never mind. Sorry.
I know what you're talking about.
Um, they wonder where Lisa is. When Marisol's getting up to go and look for her, Larsa gets a text from Lisa because she's checking on Lisa, asking her if she's okay. And Lisa writes back and says no. Marisol goes off. I guess production told Marisol that she went to the restroom. She went in
Love
there.
Marisol.
Yeah. She went in there. And she's talking to her and telling her she needs to take control of the situation. Marisol thinks that Lenny's crazy. And Marisol tells her, you need to get back in that house because what if he's changed the locks and you can't get back in? Lisa is on the phone with Marina now, and she says that she feels helpless. And she tells the cameras to go away again, that this is off limits. Marisol goes back to the dinner table and fills the girls in on what's going on. And we get a confessional from Kiki. Now, they asked all the ladies if they would have suspected this of Lenny. And, they're being nice. They're being, no, I never, not like this, not like this. Kiki's like, yeah, he's bald. All y'all bald men are cheaters. Look, there's one on the crew. You cheat. He's like, no.
Well, first she said it was the shape of his head. I hollered. You see the shape of his head? You see it? I just knew it was something about him. And then he bald too. The shape of his head and he bald. I hollered.
But he's not even fully bald. Like, what is she talking about? Kiki is a mess. Does she know which one is Lenny?
Good call.
I don't know. At the table, they asked Marisol to do a game. And Nicole said, this feels like deja vu, like Hamptons Part 2. And in her confessional, Nicole says Marisol needs to take the cocky out of her mouth and put a cork in it. Good one, Nicole. We see Marisol's mugshot from the 80s. I love that she admits that she got arrested. But basically the game is like, they ask a question, who do you think out of the group would be most likely to, and then there's something, and then you have to name somebody in the group. I don't know what they asked, but Alexia comes out. Well, I think it was about like earning a living on your back, essentially.
Right.
And Julia says, I probably would earn the least because I don't, dress a certain way or something like that. And Alexia tells Julia that she knows how to be a prostitute because she's Russian. What?
The whole table shut down. They were all like, what? My mouth kind of just, like, my mouth flew up. And I'm like, you cannot say that. That is so inappropriate to say something like that.
I was like, wait, wow.
I'll be honest. I was offended for Julia in that moment. Like, you don't say something like that.
Yeah. She's using an old trope that Russian girls are basically sluts and prostitutes, and when they get out of Russia, they're basically that. And even Julia mentioned that when she was living in Paris as a model, they would find out that she's Russian, and she would say the French word for prostitute. And it's insulting, and it's something that she's come up with along the way. Alexia says that she could say whatever she wants. It's her birthday. Julia says something back to her like, that's not nice, and this is where Alexia says, but I was giving you a compliment. Huh? Oh, yes, but what's so wrong? Because you're generalizing a whole, country.
No, she's saying yes, but that was so wrong.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I have a headache today, and I've been day drinking, and I didn't get much sleep last night. So I just empowering the ladies of the night were Russian, but that's generating or generalizing. Yeah. Again, look, prostitutes come in all nationalities. Let's just call it, and all sexes. Yay, day drinking. I'm getting ready for the show tonight. Let's see. Um, so Julia says that she's heard that her entire life, and she says um, that she will no longer be intimidated into silence. That she had to do that when she was a young model in Paris, but she's no longer going to do that. She's a different person today. Um, and Alexia gives like a I don't even think it was even a half-hearted apology. It was like a blow off.
It
It
was
was
one
like
of those. It was one of those like, you know what? I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
if I hurt your feelings,
There you
know?
go. If yeah,
If the birthday cake comes out, which kind of diffuses everything. They finish dinner, they have dessert, they dance, they blow bubbles. They whack on a piñata that was full of jewelry. I love how Lisa do a piñata. I love it. She had to do it. On a wee break. Hi. All right, so thank you for joining us on your break. We appreciate it.
here's the
Um,
thing.
mhm,
You made a good point that Alexia's generalizing. What if people?
mhm,
Because Alexia brought up a Netflix documentary about Russian,
mhm.
like, the Russian scene.
That was later in the
Okay,
van.
it's later.
That was in the van. Yeah, because there's a second part to this argument. Julia lets it go. Julia lets it go at the birthday party, which is good on her. She's a better person than I would have been. Um, So the next day is the activity where they're supposed to be going to this Cuban bar slash restaurant to learn how to make mojitos and to see a cigar rolling demonstration. Lisa's packed and she's going back home. She going back home to handle business. But girl, the damage is done. The semen is all over that house. Bring in a black light. You'll find it.
And make
Um,
sure you go get the jewelry and the kids.
well, no, all she got to do is put on like a fingerprint lock on the bedroom and kick him out of the bedroom,
True.
you know? Um basically Larsa spent the night with Lisa and they were crying all night. Um Overnight Lenny blocked her so she couldn't contact him and she couldn't get in touch with her children either, which must have been devastating. This is cruel and unusual punishment what he's doing to Lisa. What did Lisa do to you? What did Lisa do to you? I don't get it. Lisa says it's like a death, but the person is still there doing these crazy things to you and hurting your heart. I feel bad for her. I, Nobody deserves this. Like she may
No,
not be the
no.
best person in the world, but what person deserves treatment like this?
This is reminding me of Kelsey and Camille all over, and how he did her.
Yes. Yeah, but at least Kelsey went across the country and got his own place with that flight
Exactly.
attendant.
Oh
Lenny
no, it
is
didn't. No, it
bringing this
didn't.
woman in
That was
there.
that was their place. That was Kelsey and Camille's place.
Oh yeah, that was the
Remember,
other
so
home.
remember, she tried to go in, and like, who are you? And then the door guy hadn't seen her before, and he's like, who are you? She's like, I'm Mrs. Graham. He's like, no, you're not. She's like, yes, I am. He's like, no, you're not. And she had to pull out her driver's license, like, here. He's like, oh, and that's how she did.
Uh-huh. That's true. I forgot about that. These men. Jamal, you man. Would you do this to a woman?
No, because I would never disrespect the mother of my children.
Okay. I'll believe you more than
You
Russell.
never, you never do that. You never
Well,
disrespect
somebody
the mother
tell
of your
you need to
children.
tell Lenny that because he's like failing on all points here. Oh my god.
Can you
Wait, you
imagine when his kids grow up though?
and
Especially the
see
son
this.
and the son. Ooh.
You knew Lenny was a playboy, cruel boy on the first season. You did? I knew he was a playboy because I heard the rumors, but I didn't think he was this cruel though. I just didn't.
And here's the thing: I just figured that he was a cheater, and they had some sort of understanding.
Yeah. Yeah. They was living that life.
That's the way I took it, just based on the dynamic.
Mhm.
But I didn't think he
Mhm.
would do her like this though.
Yeah. So the rest of the ladies get on board the bus. Lisa departs and goes back home. The ladies get on board a Sprinter. They're all complaining that they're hot. Lisa comes over to no, Larsa goes over. This is where Larsa picks up after Gertie. And she says that what she was saying yesterday at the pool to Lisa was incorrect because the rest of them have a better perspective because they've actually been divorced. And Gertie, you gotta love Gertie. Gertie don't care about none of these bitches. Gertie is like, so I can't have an opinion. Larsa, go away. I was done with Larsa.
Larsa, you've been divorced a whole 3 minutes. Shut up.
I what purpose does Larsa serve on this show? Just anybody,
None.
somebody in the comments. If anybody lasts on the replay, I want to hear all comments. What purpose does Larsa serve on this show? Okay. Um Gucci flip-flops? Oh, the flip-flops are just like getting attacked on all shows. Um
You know what? I would rather her leave and you bring back Karen, the dentist. Bring her back.
yes. I liked Karen
Bring Karen.
with a
You can bring
T at
Joanna
the
back too.
end.
You can bring back Joanna too. And Leah Black. Bring
Wait,
them back.
what kind of attorney was Joanna?
Joanna Krupa, she was the model.
No, not that one. Who was the attorney? Karen
That's
was the
Anna.
dentist.
That's
Who?
Anna. That's Anna. Anna.
I liked her. I liked her. Can you imagine her giving advice now?
Oh, that'd be such a good setup.
Mm-hmm.
After she dragged Leah at the reunion, yeah, she wasn't coming back.
Well, well. Anywho, let's see. So, they stop to get coffee, and Alexia calls Julia aside and she apologizes for saying what she said. And she's blaming it on her hatred of Lenny, and he's part Russian. So, see, it's all good. We're good. You know, I still think it's a compliment. She doesn't want Julia to feel uncomfortable, and Julia says that she does. Yes. So I was back on the Julia bandwagon with this. And Julia explains to Alexia, like, all of that stuff that she had to go through, and the trope of Russian women being called prostitutes and blah 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 blah. And Julia says, she tries to reference, women don't become prostitutes because they want to. They do it, out of necessity. They're forced into it. And she said, meanwhile, you were married to a drug dealer living off of drug money, and nobody is holding that against you. Alexia has the balls to say, no, I wasn't. My husband lost all his money, and I was living off of money that my father left me. What? Okay.
That's how the way I took it. I was like, okay, if you say so.
Uh-huh. How long was her marriage?
I think about maybe what 5, 10 years maybe.
And she never took a red cent from her husband. Okay. Uh, oh my God. He did. The rapper Future reference Larsa in a song along with Gucci flip flops. If you know, you know. Oh, Jesus. Take the compliment. Oh my Lord. Y'all are so messy. Y'all are so messy. So then that sets Alexia off. Julia is not backing down. She is not scared. She she's kind of right. Like, Alexia, you started this and you never made a sincere apology and you double, triple down. Sorry. Sorry. The other women are on the bus watching this meltdown in front of the cafecito's order window, and it's not looking pretty. Alexia is like doing the finger, and Julia is saying, "Don't do the finger." They get back on the bus, and Alexia starts talking about some documentary about Russian women coming over to America to have babies with Americans, and they're prostitutes. And so Adriana jumps up and says, "Well, if we're going to talk about documentaries, what about Cocaine Cowboys, which starred your husband?"
Yep.
Then Alexia and Adriana start fighting. Julia tries to jump in to help her friend, and it basically ends with Alexia shouting at Julia, "Just leave me the fuck alone." And that, my dear friends, is what happens when you can't use your words and you don't know how to argue your wrong point.
Not your
Oh.
wrong point. Damn.
Just leave me the fuck alone. She'll never get away from that first husband. Never.
No, never. Mm-mm. And you can't criticize nobody for their choice.
I don't know. Did someone say that Alexia was dating Todd while one of them was still married?
It was. She was dating. Shoot. Was she dating some? I think she said that Todd and Alexia were dating while she was married to Herman. That's the way I remember it.
That's what I thought I heard, but there was so much caterwauling on that bus. I was like, wow, girl. Mm-mm-mm. Yes, they are messy, and I love it. I like there's something about Miami. It is just the right combination. It's the cinematography, it's the music, it's the visuals, it's the colors. This combination of friends, even though I don't like all of them and I'm not 100% with all of them, they know how to make a show. They know how to make it interesting. And I mean, if every season we can get the destruction of somebody's life and then the rebound the next year, because last year, basically, this was the destruction of Alexia's life. And she's rebounded beautifully this year. Now we got Lisa. I want to see her rise like a phoenix. I do. I've always liked Little Monkey, as Marisol calls her. I don't know. Miami has been my fave. Even the Mardi Gras was brilliant. It's the colors, yeah. Mm-hmm. But old style messy, not this ridiculousness the other housewife franchises are doing now. Exactly. Like, I like this for overall. I like Dubai because, again, the music, the visuals. I still think they need to tweak the cast, but it was only first season. And the destination. I've always wanted to go to Dubai, so I think that's what interests me. But hopefully that'll be coming back too. They play it well, LOL. I just feel sorry for Lisa because Lenny is an ass. But at the same time, she should have known and had a better prenup or yes. Yeah, she should. Like, let me tell you something. You see that you heard me say before that she should put a fingerprint lock on the bedroom door. I would be setting up a camera in there and doing live streams on Amazon, selling all of my luxury goods, all of them stupid Birkins. She's got a couple $1,000,000 in Birkins in there, and they're in pristine condition. She can get a good penny for those. I would keep the jewelry as a backup. Yes, the old style is messy. I don't like Caroline D. Well, that's what I mean. Like I still think it's first season. I'm going to give Dubai another chance, but I do think that they need to tweak their cast. I do. I think they need more ladies. I think they need more diversity on the cast. I would love for Caroline Stansberry to go away. I've never liked her. But I guess they seem to want to tailor the series around her. I would have had most of the money in my name within 6 weeks. Yep.
Yeah.
Honestly, from last year when she was asking him if he was still interested in her, honestly, from day one, I guess she has the closet as her backup. But from last season, when he wasn't really that interested in her, that's when the money would have been siphoned off.
Exactly. I was just trying to unmute to say that like you have to like ask him like, are you still interested? Blah blah blah. And he gave you the answer that he gave you. That's the key to start siphoning off the money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the first key. And you start siphoning off money and selling his things. Not
It's
yours.
just
Sell his.
very interesting how this has all gone down and how much faith she had in him. Again, but this is what happens when these older rich men get these younger girls and they start grooming them. And that's why
She had
she
no
was
family
left
too.
ass out.
That's the thing though. She was easily. This was too easy because she had no other family. Like she
Mm-hmm.
was pretty much alone. Like her family was her world. That's why she was fighting so hard to keep it because she didn't want to lose the only family that she had.
Wow.
And he knew that.
And used it against her. Used it against her. And then remember, and moved her out to Star Island, where she would be further away from everybody who's on the mainland. He's done a pretty good job of keeping her away. I just cannot believe that he's been so brutal. This is just a this is just, and he's on camera doing it. First the mic, the hot mic moment, and then everything that he's saying to her, and then the bruise. Like, you're really making me jump to conclusions. But didn't he want the babies more than her? Because I think
A
after the
thousand percent.
natural way, I think after the natural way like failed for them, I think she had resigned herself to not having kids. And then he was like, no, then he brought up the surrogate thing. He really wanted those kids in the earlier seasons, and now he could care less about them.
Right. He got what in his mind he got what he wanted, so now she's disposable.
Well, I feel for her after she had the babies. And do you think bliss? Oh, it's
If
sad.
she's smart, she would sue him for pain and suffering and for going through all those IVF treatments. I would sue him for the cost of every single IVF treatment.
Can she get away with that in Florida? I don't think Florida is very favorable.
I wonder where else they have homes. Because she, oh, their primary residence is Florida. I would, you know what you do? You just sue for everything and see what the judge will give you. That's how you do it.
But I do like, I think the best bit of advice was from Nicole, who said, put every top divorce attorney on retainer now. That way you lock him out and you get like you're using his money to do it. So
Exactly.
put all of them on retainer. Oh my god. This season's going to be good. So tomorrow we're going to do episode 7 that came out today. All right. Perfect. And maybe we can just do like highlights of the year or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something fun.
Okay, perfect. So, guys, thank you for joining us today. I know we kept you a little bit longer than normal, but it was 2 episodes. We won't keep you that long tomorrow. Join us again at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific, where we will talk about Real Housewives of Miami, episode 7 that came out today on Peacock. Have a look-see, watch it, bring your notes, and it will be the I don't know, He-Man, Lenny Hater Club tomorrow. Again, dating myself, Little Rascals. Oh my God. Hold on. Let's see. Disposable. Okay. Go in for all. Take what you can. Yep. I feel for her for some reason. It will get messier. If this is the beginning, can you imagine? Because listen, I told y'all last week what he did. He cut off all the credit cards. She had to get an emergency meeting with the court so that she could get access to the cards so that she could buy diapers and food for the kids. And he was trying to kick her out of the house again. And they went to court, and the court put in an order that he has to maintain her with a certain amount of money on the Amex card per month. And so say the court order started on Wednesday. On the Monday or the Tuesday, she went to Neiman's or Bergdorf's or Saks or something like that and charged up over $200,000 on the car. And she also went to Louis Vuitton and bought an amazing bag. And so he caught her, called her back into court, told the judge, and said she did that. And she got in front of the judge and she said, okay, I'll return the Louis Vuitton bag. Lisa ain't playing.
Nope.
But in that same meeting, he put in a request to the judge asking for her earnings statement from this show because he wants that entered in as a deduction of what he has to give her. He's a pig. He's a pig. And girl, make him sell that house. Do not keep that house on Star Island. That's a money pit.
Right.
Sell it and get half of the proceeds. And make him pay off the mortgage first, because you know that there's a mortgage on that house.
Yeah, it sure is.
Mm-hmm. And that way nobody gets the house. Done. Okay, so guys, join us tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for, to everyone who gave us like what do you call them? Super chats, stickers,
Super chats.
something.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. We've never ever asked for anything, so we're just grateful that anyone tunes in to our live shows or visits us in our chats with the replay crew. We really appreciate you. Okay, so Jamal, any final comments?
Oh, next Friday, are we doing Maryland? That's the 6th. Yeah.
Is
The
it?
documentary for Netflix.
Oh,
We have to.
so it's the first
coordinate.
Friday of the month. Are we doing that?
We can do the first Friday. We'll talk about it.
Okay, so we're picking another documentary that Jamal found. What's the name of it, or you want to keep that a secret?
We want people to watch it, so we can put it on our community tab. Boom.
Yeah. Once we decide on the date, because we have to, are we going to invite Heidi or no? All right, so we'll settle on a date, and then we'll put up the documentary that Jamal selected, and we'll do a Friday night discussion on the documentary. A little something different from our reality show stuff. All right, so I just want to show this one more time. Lenny, what did you do to your wife? I'm glad they got that on film. And Jamal, any final comments?
No, we are good.
Awesome. So until next time, guys, thanks for being here. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
tomorrow.
Yep.
Bye.